Welcome to the total remake of Ronnis, and boy is it awesome. There are a lot of new details you'll probably can make out here. For one, the traffic light looks different, these arrows instead. Of course, things are also a little different on this too, as far as the timing goes, and yes, it is animated. Of course, this is green like this for 16 seconds, and it'll go to yellow for 4 seconds when it gets there eventually, sometime or another. It'll get there. There it is. Of course, you got turn only signs. 1.5 seconds double red, and 8 seconds of this. And of course, it'll be 4 seconds of yellow, and again, no turn on red sign. 56th Avenue North. And of course, the sign here saying Keverin River. After all, what river is this in the background? Yep, that's the Keverin River. Sorry, classified contents. Still, I know. These will remain like this for quite a long time still. So, what about the other objects? One thing you might be noticing every now and then are sailboats drifting by. However, I'll be getting at those a little bit later. What's the delay for? Easy. What makes a city a city? It's not a trick question either. You can't figure it out? Okay, then what are those tall objects right here? These really tall objects here. They're skyscrapers. Those have been totally redesigned. And you've probably seen the video from where I was actually making those the buildings themselves. However, instead of the 32 floor limit or whatever I had before, they're now clear up to 96 as the base, although randomization didn't yield a 96. What happened instead was, well, got a 95. However, there's this building here, with sky bridges too to go along with it. This one is a monster 128 floors. Oh my goodness, now that is big. And of course, if you can't read this, that says, Welcome to Ronnis. What's with the N's here? That means, well, if you're seeing it like that, you're facing north. N for north. Pretty handy in a way. Of course, if you're on this side of it, you'll be looking at a sign saying with an E there instead. Because if you're over here facing that way, that's east. Get it? Of course, you might be wondering what these little odd things are. If you remember from Jeremy's house, these are air taxis. Nothing new there. Of course, they're a lot higher than what they were. Of course, they gotta clear these buildings, and the original height actually would end up having them crash into these buildings. That's a no-no. Thus, I had to raise their heights. No big deal, though. However, one thing I want you to note, I'm gonna read this sign. Okay, there's nothing special about that. But there is. Notice these numbers here are different? Oh yes, I've raised the scoring values of these items now. This was worth 100 and still is, times 50 for difficulty 5. This is 3, was 300 but now it's 500, times 15, what do you get? This is 2,000, 10,000, 50,000, and guess how much this thing is going to be worth? And yes, that is a caret at the end. That thing is worth, well, 10 million on that, but it's actually 200 million for the base. And one thing you should note about this, look how far the city stuff extends. Oh my goodness, it goes out so far. And I mean far. It's just city stuff as far as the eye can see. All buildings. Now that takes things to extreme. It makes even New York City look small in comparison. And of course with speeds like that, falling down all those floors. I love that wagon wheel effect. Now I'm going to show you a really, really nice view. And to do that, I gotta go, guess what direction this is? Up. Ain't that obvious? Big air taxi, it's because it's really close. And of course I had to hide some of the buildings because so many draws. And one thing I don't get, How come I'm getting a lot of CPU usage with this when it's just drawing? Something is weird here. But look at this. Just look how far that city stuff goes. And yeah, I entered the clouds. It just goes out and out. It goes on and on. But here you can easily see the varied shoreline here too. And you have to remember, this is all done with nothing but 2D. Pure, absolute 2D. And yet, it looks so 3D. It's amazing. That's what I can do with parallax scrolling. I've really taken it to an extreme. In case you're wondering, yes, that was what I was waiting for. Just look at all those details. My. They just go out and out. But here, you can actually see some islands out here, but the clouds are kind of blocking it. So I'll just get some extreme speed. Gotta love cranking that speedometer up, you know. I love that wagon wheel effect so much. Now, if you look closely right here, yes, you can easily see an island. There's another one here, but it's kind of hard to see. And yes, that really is what Mach 2 is like on that fall. That was Mach 2. Bounced back up at Mach 1. So, what about the sailboats? Well, the only way I can show you those is through a high-speed glide. And when I mean high speed, I mean high speed. I gotta get out of the way of these obstacles, though. This one is called the Balloon Festival. I'll use the closer ones. Scuba Diver. That one's one of my favorites. Home Sweet Home. Of course, the speed's really getting up there. Roy G. Biv. Let's see, what's that one? Oh yeah, Platform Master. Yep, after the theme of this game, basically. Cloudborne. This one's my top favorite. Space Explorer. And yes, that's really 200 miles an hour. Laboratory Tester, another one of my favorites. And yes, that's what it's like to go through highways at that speed. Night Wanderer. Sun and Surf, another one of my favorites. Musan Miner. That's a rock with gold on it. And a mine cart. Let's see. That's Storm Master. And there's Balloon Festival again. It's basically the entire loop, really. And yes, this is really what 400 miles an hour in a city would be like. It's crazy fast, I'll tell you. Look at all these streets I'm just zipping by. Oh well, this video was created by Ulillillia. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the lovely scenery, and the big fall as I have a habit of doing.